Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Ethereum is actually failing to hold that important level that I was talking about in yesterday's Ethereum update. Once again, I mentioned that we were forming this inverse head and shoulders pattern, and we were starting to break out to the upside here, but of course we needed to hold above that exact level to confirm the next price targets to the upside. But now that we are breaking below that level, obviously things are now changing. So especially if we get 1 to 2 candle closes below this important level, that's how you know we're potentially getting ready to test our next level of support below the price. And I'll be covering all of that and more in this video for Ethereum. And also I'll quickly update you guys on Ethereum versus Bitcoin just here, because this is also important to pay attention to. And on top of all of that, I will cover one of your most suggested altcoins that you guys have been commenting in the comment section down below. And that is of course Cardano. Once again, I'll be covering that later in this video. All of that and more in this video. So make sure you're watching this entire video all the way to the end, especially if you hold either Ethereum or Cardano. This video is for you. But just before we jump into it, make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future videos. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're going to start off on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame. And once again, just quickly recapping yesterday's video, I was actually mentioning this inverse head and shoulders pattern on this 4-hour time frame, and the neckline was coming in at $3,300, and that was seriously the level that we needed to hold above in order to confirm the price targets. But now we actually have Bitcoin starting to break to the downside in the short term, which I actually just covered in my Bitcoin update that I uploaded a couple hours ago on this channel. So if you missed that video, definitely check it out, because of course most of the crypto market is correlated to Bitcoin. So Ethereum obviously is pretty correlated to Bitcoin. So for example, if Bitcoin breaks to the downside, it is pretty likely that Ethereum is going to see something similar. And of course, that is what's happening right now. So the fact that Ethereum is actually losing that 3.3K level, that is not a bullish sign in the short term. Of course, that is a short-term bearish sign, and that will be confirmed if we can get 1 to 2 candle closes on this chart just here. Once again, 4-hour candles is what I'm talking about just here. And the first level to the downside that will act as support for Ethereum that I am paying attention to is coming in at around 3,130, give or take. That's basically where we bounced just last time. And by the way, if you're on the channel just before that bounce, I was actually saying that that was the exact price target to the downside. And by the way, I post these exact trade updates over on my Twitter. The link to my Twitter is in the description down below. Some of you from that trade actually made thousands of % profits in just a matter of minutes. So yeah, once again, I'll be initially targeting that low just there as potentially some short-term support for Ethereum. Anything lower than around 3.1K, then of course I will be targeting around $3,000. That little range just there from 2,900 to 3,000, that range is actually a major support range for Ethereum. We've actually bounced from that exact range 3 times over the past few weeks or so. And zooming out even further on the Ethereum charts, that was also major resistance just a few months ago. So this range, once again, is a significant range. It was previous resistance, and now it has been confirmed as support multiple times. So yeah, once again, I do actually expect Ethereum to get supported in that range if we do break below that low just there first. And of course, if we do break into a new lower low, that's how you know that we're potentially entering a short-term downtrend. But of course, at the time of filming this video, we aren't in a lower low just yet. And that's where I myself will actually pick up a little bit more Ethereum for my long-term holdings, and obviously hold that Ethereum for the longer term. I've actually done that and publicly announced it the last 3 times over the past few weeks here as we have dipped into this red range, and so far all 3 times have been pretty profitable. And when you're zooming out to the daily Ethereum chart, you can see it becomes quite obvious that Ethereum is simply in a range between $3,000 approximately and approximately $3,300. So in that $300 price range there, roughly, that is where Ethereum has been over the past couple of weeks. And at the time of filming this video, there's really no sign of that changing anytime soon, because of course we're seeing yet another rejection from these sort of resistance levels just here. And also when you're paying attention to the RSI on the daily time frame for Ethereum, we are actually in a pretty strong downtrend at the moment. We aren't seeing any signs of a trend reversal in the daily RSI, and also in the daily MACD. We did see a death cross around a week ago now, and we have still not crossed back into the bullish momentum just yet. We are still, technically speaking, looking a little bit more bearish on the daily MACD, which basically just shows us the potential short-term trend for Ethereum along along with the RSI as well. And usually these can actually act as leading indicators. For example, taking a look previously in the Ethereum chart, the last time the RSI actually started a short-term downtrend on the daily time frame, that was actually before the downtrend in the Ethereum price. As you can see just here, we were in a downtrend in the RSI for probably around half a week or so. And then it was after that stage just there that the Ethereum price head even lower over the next 1 to 1.5 weeks or so before we then bottomed out and head back to the upside, obviously. And also, by the way, it was on the 12th of July just there that we did actually see a death cross, a bearish cross in the MACD. And obviously, right after we saw that cross just there, the price head a little bit lower over the next 1.5 weeks or so. And now going back to the time before that, the last time the RSI was in just a short-term downtrend, that actually came just before the downtrend in the Ethereum price on the daily time frame. And that was starting at around the beginning of June this year, just a couple months ago, obviously. But at that stage, the MACD wasn't really showing anything significant. We were seeing, very small bullish crosses and bearish crosses. So yeah, at that stage, the MACD, once again, wasn't really too helpful. But the time before that was actually the all-time high for Ethereum when we topped out at around $4,400. And what's really interesting is the RSI on the daily time frame was already starting to top out and head to the downside slightly before the all-time high itself and before the crash to the downside in the price. Once again, the RSI was telling us that we are due for a move to the downside before the move to the downside actually happened. And also we saw the death cross in the MACD on the daily time frame pretty much at the all-time high itself. And then it was over the next 1 to 2 weeks just there that we actually saw the momentum shift to the downside as the MACD suggested. So now going back to the current price action, as you can see, we're seeing the signs in the RSI and the MACD of a potential short-term downtrend, but we're simply just not seeing it in the price. We're just consolidating sideways, and that is also likely to do with the EIP 1559 upgrade that we saw a few weeks back. Of course, that is that red line just here where we saw that upgrade, and obviously that brings extra buying demand and reduces the selling pressure to Ethereum. So that could be one of the reasons why Ethereum has actually held off from more downside price action. But in the immediate short term, especially if Bitcoin heads a little bit lower as well, then it would be likely for Ethereum to head a little bit lower towards those other areas of support that I just mentioned earlier in this video. And looking at our Fibonacci levels just here, if we do decide to break below that important range just there at around 2.9k approximately to 3,000 once again, then our next major Fibonacci level to the downside is coming in at around $2,700. That is the 38.2% Fibonacci level. Anything below that, we have the 50% Fibonacci retracement level coming in at around 2,500, and then the golden pocket, one of the most important Fibonacci levels, coming in at around 2.3k give or take. And of course, if we break the resistance just here to the upside, once again at around 3.3k, I would also like to see a daily close above that level just there, and also a spike in volume, or at least the volume pick up a little bit, because obviously we're in a downtrend for the volume to actually confirm the breakout to the upside. And once again, if that happens, then my next price target to the upside is at roughly around 3.6k, because that's the technical price target for that previous inverse head and shoulders pattern. Now, something else to keep in mind is that the huge resistance that we're running into at around $3,300 is actually the golden pocket, the 61.8% Fibonacci level, when you're drawing the fibs from the all-time high down to the low at around $1,700. Once again, one of the most important Fibonacci levels to the upside, one of the biggest resistance is actually coming in at around 3.3k. So that is why we are continuously getting stopped out at that level. And as soon as we break above that range just there, start getting above around 3.4k preferably, then apart from that $3,600 price target, we also have the 78.6% Fibonacci level coming in at around $3,800. Anything above that level, and I'll simply be targeting the all-time high itself at around 4.4k. And keep in mind, from the current price to the all-time high, that's still around a 36% gain for Ethereum. So there's still some major opportunities in the Ethereum markets right now. And also the fact that the volume is constantly declining to the downside over the past few weeks just here, that also shows us that we are likely to see a volatile move coming soon. And of course, the direction of that volatile move will be determined if we break either that exact level just there, that resistance level, or this support level just here. Now, just giving you guys a quick update on Ethereum versus Bitcoin just here. As you can see, we have continued even further to the downside after that break to the downside as expected. Once again, over the past 1 to 2 weeks, I was actually talking about this major Ethereum pattern forming on this Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart, which is of course a symmetrical triangle pattern. So it is more of a neutral pattern. It's not necessarily a bullish or a bearish pattern, but the direction of the move is actually determined if we break either the exact support just here or the exact resistance just here. And of course, we broke the support a while ago. We head to the downside, came back up, saw a perfect retest of the breakout line just there, and got a massive rejection from that level, which of course sent us even lower. And now the technical price target for this pattern was actually coming in at around 0.064 Bitcoin per Ethereum. And so far, we've come back down to around 0.0649 Bitcoin per Ethereum. So we have come a little bit short of the technical price target for this pattern. But so far, it's definitely been a pretty good trade. For example, if you did accumulate a little bit more Bitcoin there with your Ethereum. Now, I did not actually make that trade, but for those of you that did make that trade, once again, you would have done very well over the past 1 week approximately. And keep in mind that Ethereum can still head down to that price target as well, because we haven't really confirmed a proper new uptrend. So far, we are still technically speaking in some lower highs, and we haven't formed a new higher low just yet. So of course, if we form a higher low, that is the first sign for the trend reversing back to the upside again. But once again, that hasn't happened just yet. So it's totally possible for Ethereum to head a little bit lower against Bitcoin. But I am simply holding my longer term positions as they are. I haven't moved any more Ethereum into Bitcoin or Bitcoin into Ethereum, but I will keep you guys updated if I make any more of those moves on this channel and also on my Twitter in real time. Link in the description to my Twitter. And just before I cover this really important Cardano analysis, I'll quickly let you guys know that I do actually have an official trading team registered in the World Series of Trading, which is a major trading competition that only comes around once a year. The subscribers on this channel would already well and truly know about it by now. So for the subscribers out there, feel free to skip, around 30 seconds or so. But for the brand new viewers on the channel, once again, this is just a trading competition. It's mostly for Bitcoin and Ethereum, as you can see just here. And it's actually got a prize pool of $6 million for the actual teams just here. And then it's got a solo competition where it's got another $1.5 million prize pool for the solos. So altogether, it's got a $7.5 million prize pool as the maximum prize pool if the maximum participants actually sign up. And the competition officially begins in less than 4 days, as you can see. So we've only got around 3.5 days, give or take, to actually sign up into this competition if you are interested, of course. And by the way, I don't actually recommend leverage trading for the complete beginners out there. This is really something for those of you that have a bit more of experience in these markets, and especially for those of you that are trading anyway. And so far, we've got 33 members in our team. So thank you to all 33 of you that have signed up so far. And by the way, you'll find a link to this exact page in the description down below where you can actually come and join my team if you would like. And by the way, when you join my team, you actually get a free $50 bonus just by joining our team, and you'll receive that free Bitcoin bonus into your account when the trading begins in less than 4 days from now. And once again, you'll find all of this in the first link in the description and also the first link in the pinned comments down below. Now, quickly updating you guys on Cardano. This is one of the most suggested altcoins in the comment section down below. Once again, I read a lot of your altcoin suggestions. So if you have any altcoin that you want me to cover or just a video idea in general, then let me know in the comment section down below. And the most popular suggestions are what I will cover first on the channel. I've also gotten a few suggestions to cover Chainlink and to cover Polkadot. So let me know in the comments if you want me to cover those altcoins as well. But yeah, right now, obviously with that small breakdown in the Bitcoin price, that's also set Cardano just down a little bit in the short term. Of course, this downside price action is nothing compared to what we've actually seen in the gains recently. But considering the fact that Cardano has obviously broken into a brand new all-time high, we could be about to retest the previous all-time high, which is coming in at around $2.50, just above $2.50. So if we do actually hold that level, honestly, that is really bullish for Cardano. It's only if we start breaking below $2.50 that we could be in for a little bit more bearish price action in the short term. Now, it's also likely that we're seeing just a short-term little cool-off for Cardano, simply because we entered these overbought areas on the 4-hour RSI for Cardano. As you can see, the last couple times that we entered these overbought areas, we did actually see just a short-term cool-off in the price for Cardano. So all the way back here, around 3 times ago, once again, we saw those overbought areas, and then the price entered just a short-term cool-off before a continuation of the uptrend, and then we entered overbought areas again just here, as you can see, and then we also had yet another short-term cool-off for Cardano, which actually retested this very important level that I did actually cover on the channel at that time. And then the moment that we saw a bounce from that exact level just there, of course, we actually continued higher and higher to the all-time high itself, where we did come into contact with a a bit of short-term resistance for Cardano, which also came after we actually found some overbought areas yet again. Once again, that led to another short-term cool-off. And so now that we have just finished some overbought areas again for Cardano, once again, we are now starting just a small short-term cool-off for Cardano. And the last short-term cool-offs lasted from around 1 day all the way up to around 3.5 days, being the longest short-term cool-off, at least out of the recent ones just here, as you can see. Now, checking out the daily chart for Cardano, as you can see, we're actually seeing a major bearish divergence on the daily time frame for Cardano. So as you can see just here, we're seeing a high and a higher high in the price for Cardano, but in the RSI, we're seeing a high and a lower high on the daily time frame. So once again, that is a bearish divergence, and what it basically means is that the buyers, the bulls, are actually running out of momentum, and we are due for at least a little bit of a short-term cool-off. But keep in mind that the MACD just here is still in this really strong uptrend, and right now, at least, the MACD on the daily time frame is not showing any signs of a major trend reversal for Cardano. So simply from what we are seeing right now with these indicators, they are just telling us that we are due for a short-term cool-off, but not a major crash. But yeah, some important levels to pay attention to is, once again, of course, the $2.50 level. Anything below that level, we have huge support coming in at around $1.90. Anything below that, we also have a very significant level coming in at around $1.50. And as for some major price targets to the upside, if we can hold above $2.50, and especially if we can confirm it as support, then we have a major level of resistance to the upside coming in at around $3.50. Because if you're bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool just here, as you can see, we have the 1618 Fibonacci level coming in at pretty much exactly $3.50. Anything above that, we have the 2618 Fibonacci level coming in at just above $5. So I would actually expect some major resistance at around $5. And then we do have some Fibonacci levels higher than that. But of course, I'll keep you guys updated the higher we go for Cardano. But as of right now, let's not go too far. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, because obviously we are due for just a short-term cool-off, just in the immediate short term once again. And obviously, Cardano has well and truly hit the technical price target for this huge falling wedge pattern that I covered on the channel many months ago now. In fact, even just last month, I'll let you guys know on this channel that we were starting to break out to the upside for Cardano, and we're getting ready to test the $1.50 level. And you can even go back and look on the channel around a month ago. I said as soon as we break $1.50, that's when the Cardano price is going to start exploding to the upside. So for those of you that were subscribed to this channel around a month ago, big congratulations to you, because obviously Cardano has had some killer gains since that breakout just there. And in fact, measuring that breakout just there to the current price for Cardano, over the past 1 month, we've seen a 117% gain for Cardano. So if you actually bought that breakout a month ago, you would have more than doubled your entire investment. Now, obviously, one of the main bullish drivers for Cardano recently is the fact that smart contracts are coming very soon. In fact, they are set to arrive on the 12th of September. So less than 1 month from now, smart contracts should be here for Cardano. If we don't see any delays and if all things go to plan, once again, September 12th is when smart contracts will officially arrive for Cardano. And obviously that is absolutely huge, fundamentally speaking, because that's actually something that Cardano holders have been waiting for many, many years, really ever since the launch of Cardano. Because of course, Cardano is going after the same market of Ethereum. They're both going after proof of stake. They're both going after DeFi. And of course, they're both going after smart contracts. Now, Ethereum has had smart contracts and DeFi for quite a while now, but it still does not have proof of stake. But Cardano, on the other hand, has proof of stake, and it has had proof of stake for a while, but it is only just now starting to get smart contracts, which will really make it a proper competitor now for Ethereum. And in fact, I could honestly see Cardano's market valuation, its market cap, coming up towards Ethereum's market cap within the next 1 to 2 years. I don't necessarily see it happening this year. Of course, I could be wrong, but if it is going to happen, it's more likely to happen probably next year. But of course, that will also depend on how well the launch of smart contracts will go for Cardano just next month. So fundamentally speaking, Cardano has never looked more bullish, but of course, the price has already experienced a huge bullish movement on this daily time frame. So if you are wanting to get into Cardano now, I strongly urge to not go too heavy, because your risk of potential downside is actually much higher compared to when we are down here around a month ago. So the time to go heavy into Cardano is after we experience a decent pullback. And of course, that doesn't have to happen. But in my experience, it is actually worth missing out on a little bit of gains going forward compared to losing a bunch of money because you've just bought after a huge bullish movement. So of course, use that information how you would like, come up with your own strategies. My strategy, for example, right now for Cardano is simply to hold all of that Cardano that I accumulated around a month ago. So right now I'm not accumulating anymore, but I'm not actually selling any Cardano just yet. I'm simply holding for the longer term. But if I did not buy in at those lower prices, honestly, right now I'll be slowly dollar cost averaging into Cardano, so I at least secure some Cardano holdings if we do continue a little bit higher. But then of course, if you're dollar cost averaging, you have a little bit of cash left on the sidelines to put in at some lower price targets if we do play out a bit more of a bearish scenario. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like down below. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. I post Bitcoin and Ethereum videos every single day here on the channel, alongside some other altcoins that you guys suggest in the comment section down below. So definitely make sure you're leaving your suggestions in the comments, and also share these videos around with your friends, because right now is an amazing opportunity in the overall crypto market. For example, just over the past 1 month from the call that we made a month ago on this channel, those of you that took that opportunity more than doubled your money in just 1 month, and there's going to be much more opportunities just like that one very soon on this channel. So it's totally worth getting your friends in on this amazing opportunity by sharing these videos around. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.